DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns, and new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code Barry when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crowd is yours. It's time for last call. Let's take a look at the most bet player props for Thursday Night Football, and we got a good one. The Packers traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. Here's what the public is on right now. Jahmyr Gibbs rushing yards 50+, that's -235. Amon-Ra St. Brown receiving yards 50+, that's -295. Jared Goff rushing yards, talk about sweating that one out, over 1.5. Just fall forward, Jared Goff, -130, and don't kneel down if you're winning at the end of the game. Jahmyr Gibbs rushing yards 60+, -135. Amon-Ra St. Brown receiving yards beefed up a little bit more, closer to his total. That's 60+ at -180. Lawrence, what do you like in this game?
I like all them, but you know me. I got to have a plus in front of my bets. So I like Jameson Williams, alt line, 60 receiving yards at +135. This is why. At home this season, he averages 7 targets, 4 receptions, and 86 yards at home, as opposed to on the road, he's only averaging 39 yards. You look at the fact that this game is 51.5. That's the highest of Week 14. I expect some points to be scored here. I expect some back and forth, and I expect something out of Jameson Williams, who has seen at least 6 targets in each of the last 3 games.
How about you, Jay?
So I'm taking another Lions wide receiver, going with Tim Patrick, who is a great story, taking him over 24.5 receiving yards. Khalif Raymond on IR, so Tim Patrick now the clear #3 wide receiver. He played 70% of the snaps last week. He's gone over in 3 straight. Think that he can get deep for at least one. Packers defense has been below average in terms of allowing explosive pass plays.
Guys, the point total in this game is at a whopping 51.5, which might seem crazy for a Thursday Night Football game, short week game, but these teams, they play shootouts typically when they meet an indoor matchup. I'm going with a kicker prop. Brandon McManus over 6.5 kicking points, 2 field goals and an extra point. Yeah. The Lions, they have a lot of injuries on defense, but I think they'll bear down on their own side of the field, forcing the Packers to take a couple field goal attempts. Let's take a look at Matthew's top-ranked players for this matchup. This is a very fantasy-friendly game, especially with that point total being so high. Lawrence, what jumps out to you with this board?
Just the usual. You got 3 running backs in the top 12 here. Usually in these types of games, you expect all the receivers to be like in that top 20 range, but you can't trust that with the Green Bay receivers and how many of those guys they have. You never know who's going to get the ball. So in a high-scoring game, having 3 separate running backs that you know could go out there and get you 20 points is always a good thing.
Yeah, I think Jaden Reed is a really interesting one tonight. His receiving prop, I think it opened up at 44.5 and now is 62.5. Yep. Has really shot up. I think this is going to be a bigger game for Jordan Love than most people think, because they've been running the ball so much. This Lions defense, they just don't trust the corner situation, don't trust them to get pressure on Jordan Love. So I think that in a similar way to the way that he destroyed the Lions last time he played them on Thanksgiving, I think this could be a big Love game tonight.
Yeah, if there's anything Dan Campbell really cares about, he wants to take away the run from you, and he wants to win the rushing attack on their own side. That's something you could always lean on with the Lions.
An interesting thing, too, you said about the Lions corners. Before Terrion Arnold came back from his injury, he was leading the league in pass interference yards and pass interferences. Carlton Davis, he's hurt now, but he was up. He's top 3 in that category as well. Up until that point. So, yeah, you got to get after their corners.
Yeah, I think Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph are covering up for a lot of sins at the moment.
They're good.
The Lions back end. They are amazing, but I wonder if tonight is the night where that defense breaks a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. One of the better Thursday night games on the slate this year. We'll see if it can match the scoring expectations.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.